back. We have Vivek Sharma joining us from the Sun Peaks Grand, where he's the general manager. It's great to have you here.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
I'm happy to be here.
Vivek today is in his traditional Indian clothing for a specific reason. Coming up in March, there's going to be a weekend up at the Sun Peaks Grand that is dedicated to Indian culture, Indian cuisine, with a very special guest, a chef from Vancouver who is very well known for his cooking. Tell us about it.
So we are bringing in Chef Vikram Vij, who definitely is one of the most renowned Indian chefs in Canada. He's coming in for 2 nights. Friday evening, we start with a welcome reception, a personal meet and greet with Vikram. Saturday morning, there is a cooking class, which has a very, very limited number of seats available.
30, right?
30 seats available, which Vikram hosts himself along with a wine tasting. And then Saturday evening is the big gala. However, the key thing over here is Vikram is obviously a great culinarian, a great ambassador for India and its culture. And we're trying to piggyback on that and present to the region a true taste of Indian culture, and hence the attire. You know, the Indian culture is a lot more than my green clothing that I'm wearing.
Sure.
But we are bringing in true classic Indian entertainment and not the Bollywood bulb-changing entertainment, but true, authentic, classic Indian entertainment. No, none of that.
Well, let's first show everyone who Vikram Vij is. He is recognizable to most people. We just grabbed this to give people an idea. He has a restaurant in Vancouver. He is very well known. He's appeared on morning shows doing cooking, City TV and Global, to name a few. Very well regarded, obviously. Makes Vancouver his home now, but I understand that you will learn more about him at Sun Peaks.
Correct, and you know, he obviously will talk about his journey from India. He's educated in Austria, Europe, if I can say, how he came about to Canada and what he's doing with his food, and how he's spreading the message of Indian food and Indian culture over here. And as a part of to tie in that whole cultural thing, which I am very passionate about, you know, obviously born and raised in India, so I'm very, very proud of my heritage. There is a lot of Indian entertainment you can probably get within the country, but we are trying to tap in just how we would do an event at our home. So if I'm doing an event, if I'm calling guests at my home, I'm not hiring Bollywood dancers to come and provide the entertainment. I'll probably have my 16-year-old niece, a 30-year-old cousin, and probably my grandmother putting something together and doing it. So we are trying to tap into some local talent in the community and in Vancouver who will put something up for that occasion. We are, in terms of to create the whole ambience, we're getting obviously decor company out of Vancouver, which specializes in Indian decor. So on Friday, for instance, in the evening during the reception, we're trying to create a couple of different corners which showcase how a couple of different regions in India look like, because each region in India or each city right next to each other can be very different. From a food and beverage perspective, Vikram is obviously, you know, he's the face of the culinary part of it, but we're going to be partnering with a couple of local purveyors from the Okanagan and the Kamloops region to come up with some unique things. So we'll have a special edition IPA, which will be released for this event, and that IPA will be flavored, infused with some Indian herbs. We'll have special palate cleansers that we can kind of use through the evening on Saturday. We are going to partner with a local winery, an Okanagan winery, who was one of the first Indians to start growing wines in the Okanagan. So trying to incorporate as much of India into this event, and the event is called Taste of India. I will obviously be there in, you know, my whole glamorous Indian attire, if I can call. So as much as the event is, you know, Vikram is the face of the food part of it. Vikram is the face of, you know, I can say Indian food in Canada. But along with him, we're trying to showcase this cultural part. And the reason, one of the reasons why we decided to do something like this is that, you know, there are some great Indian restaurants in Kamloops. There's some great Indian restaurants in the region, in the country. But when you go and have a meal in a restaurant, you just get the food part of it.
You don't know about the culture and everything else, the traditions, what makes it special that way. We have shots of Vikram's restaurant in India. Is called Vij's. Sorry, where did I say, India?
Yeah.
In Vancouver, my correction. I understand he named this after his grandfather.
Yes, I will not be able to confirm that.
I watched an interview about him, and his grandfather said to him, we should open up our own restaurant one day. So it's in honor of his grandfather, he says.
Yeah.
This is the poster that we're looking at. But like you said, going to a restaurant, you don't get the whole feel. You get the food, you don't get the culture, you don't get the traditions, you don't get, the 100-degree.
You don't, and you know, when you go in when you are in a room with Vikram, if you're in that cooking class with Vikram, yeah, you can read a recipe book and cook. But what that recipe book doesn't say is, and in Indian food especially, you don't really use measuring spoons. You know,
little of this,
little bit of this, and a little bit of that. And seeing Vikram do that and cooking with him and then eating that food by yourself is a very unique and special experience. And you can't even get that at Vikram's restaurant. You can't do a cooking show at Vikram's. Cooking class at Vikram's restaurant. So it's a very personal and intimate gathering of people, and to get some personal FaceTime with one of the most celebrated Indian chefs in the country.
A reminder, we only have about 30 seconds, but a reminder to people, if you're interested in taking a cooking class, this is going to be a 2-hour class with personal instruction, as Vivek has mentioned, but there's only 30 seats. So if you want to sign up for that, you need to go to sunpeaksgrand.com and do that, because that is coming up fairly quickly. Time passes quickly.
It does.
It does. Thank you for being here
today.
today.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.
Fantastic. Again, if you're interested in taking the cooking course, if you'd like to come for the dinner on the Saturday night, both are options. Information's on the screen, sunpeaksgrand.com. The phone number as well, 578-6000. We are back after a quick break. Stay with us.